Some stories from the Commie days. Poena Brashov. Poena Brashov in 1988, like in the winter. A series of people from Britain skiing, losing their balance, falling, and taken to the hospital. Talks with them near the fireplace. No, there's no fireplace. In the telephonic hotel. I also spent time in Chukash. I did some philandering. I was getting close to some of them. And indeed, there is a special evening I remember that was in, what was this place? Miorica, I think, maybe? It was a large, giant sort of restaurant with special evenings. They would have some dancing, they would have some traditional food, as in polenta, but that's Italian. Meat, I don't know what, for hunting there was Koliba Haidukure, I guess. I'm beginning to remember places I've visited tens of times. In some cases, more than 100 times. And I was enjoying myself. I was in high spirits, dancing, maybe drinking a little bit. And then this fellow comes in. I thought he's responsible for what comes next. A series event, a small calamity, really, which is an oxymoron. If it's a calamity, it can't be small, but there it is. I mean, it wasn't creating an earthquake there. There wasn't an explosion and 10 houses destroyed. But on a personal level, well, let's stay with calamity. Forget the small. Andy Gerassi. I can name him because maybe he was not responsible. I just thought so. This is not. Besides, who's watching? And he was in charge with the whole place, with the whole resort at that time, at least on travel, hospitality, as they call it, business matters. And with that, he might have had some other side shows going on, other games, pies with fingers in, but maybe not. Mind you, incidentally or crucial, I was visited there and around here by secret agent guys, secret asking me to say things about one or another. And in a way, I'm proud that I always said the best things about those I thought stupid, nonsensical, and so on, lousy. But I just wonderful. He's so efficient. He's except, and now comes the mea culpa, the part. Except in one case, there was this fellow, head of a hotel in Olimp, amphitheater, who did some nasty things. I had Nicole there. We're getting to Nicole. I'm thinking, and remind me, please, in your many comments. No comment. Once every 3 months. That's the point. No feedback there. No interaction. Nothing. No effect. That I intend to take the model from memoirs with Kingsley Amis. Are not coming tomorrow. Again, inshallah. He has in memoirs, which are not concentrated on him, and that's so lovely. And he is inside. He is telling stories, and he is also using self-criticism and self-deprecating humor and such, admitting some failures, shortcomings. But he has chapters on people: Philip Larkin, Anthony Burgess, what's his name? Roald Dahl, very famous for children books and very unsympathetic to children. Why don't you write children's books? That's not nice. Asks Kingsley Amis and Amis. I don't think they will like but the silly buggers or little bastards will take anything, believe it or not. That's his view of his audience. What can we do? Well, if they do like here and dislike your videos in such big numbers, what can you think of that? So Nicole and in amphitheater in the summer. Who knows? It might have been, should have been 1987, before 1988, because we're approaching It's close there. It's close with Nikki and everything else, with Claire from Sheffield. They all come together in the last part of the Commie days, last days of the regime. And he did some tricks, and I criticized him. And besides, the way I remember and the way I've seen it or imagined I'm seeing it then, he was drunk all the time. So coming back, and at this dinner, special dinner in Miorica, I think it was Miorica. What do you enjoy so much of? What? You should stand up and be a waiter. I mean, he didn't say that. And go around. I mean, what the fuck am I didn't say. I was thinking, am I a waiter? And it was tense. It was more than annoying and unpleasant and disgusting also in some other ways, because he had authority in Panama, but he was from there, he was a local. I came down from Bucharest. I had another chain of command, if you will. So what the fuck are you putting your fingers in my chore, in my soup? So anyway, but then seeing that this incident is close to the breakdown, to the bombardment, I thought, this is the guy. But still, I wouldn't come to a conclusion, and I never know. Even now, I'm not. I asked somebody, I think, that's not his, and that's not his piece, and that's not his way. So, maybe not. Fact is, it's come to the conclusion of the last 22 episodes on this episode. So the fact is, I had been there for about 2 months or so, a long time. There were only 2-3 weeks. We were towards the end of February maybe, and they would end in the beginning of March. Still be some snow, but then that's it. Besides, it was some time before climate change, before everything got hot and no snow anymore, no real rain for months now, some rain, and so this night at 4 o'clock in the morning, I get this call, because it was this woman who had the Britain department. Forgot her name, doesn't matter. A bit or a lot cold, inscrutable. Sometimes you thought, okay, she appreciates what I do, that's why she's sending me. Other times you think, well, she has no feelings. Spinster, you would say in those days of sexism and chauvinist pigs. No, he's chauvinist pig. Lucia was somebody else in accounting. Whatever her name is, she's calling me and she says, you have to pack up and come back. Don't ask me why. So, do your paperwork and return. And that was calamity. One, at 4 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it was 5, but still early in the morning. And that's something you communicate at 9 when they come to the office. 8, 10, you see what I mean? 2, immediately. I mean, I had, when I looked in perspective at the whole thing, I had very short time. Maybe it wasn't even 2-3 weeks that said it was just 2 weeks, 10 days to the end. In any case, you don't call up somebody who's been for months and like that. Then the explanation, in that lack of explanation, I can't say anything, which means there's something serious, something coming from higher, something in the Department of State Security, something in the unnamed because of the secrecy of the thing, because of, it's not, she would say, how could you fuck up that meal? How could you say, how could you put down in a check, or even if I wasn't doing the checks, I was doing the emergency, how could you kick that fellow in the stomach? She would have a reason. See, she didn't. This needs another one for the reverberations, for the effects of this night call.